Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure why not, as Halloween's on its way, tick a tea and all that, do the second and one of my favourites, Halloween 2. When I say Halloween 2, I say the original Halloween 2. Not the Rob Zombie one, the tacit, the original Halloween 2. And when you think about it, what are they? Because when Halloween 2 come out, was a date there for slasher films. I say it again, a date there for slasher films. What do I mean by that? Well, the same there, that being 1981, you had The Burning, you had The Power, you had, let me think, you had My Bloody Valentine, you had a lot of slasher films in that era, and this being one of them, being Halloween 2. Now, just like the original Halloween, they did a televised version of it, where there was a lot of the violence was timmed down, but they did have a lot more stuff in it. I'd love to see the TV one day. I've heard a lot of funny rumours about it. That's very, very funny. But there's a lot more stuff in it. There's a lot more where they're trying to drug Laurie Strode up, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. But there's one bit I would have loved to have seen. There was a different ending. And what do I mean by there was a different ending? Well, the scene where there's this lad, right, who you may remember being in The Last Starfighter, and yeah, we all make mistakes. He paid in Toast to Revenge, the film I ranted on. Ah, well. And, but he does make a good choice here, because the same lad who played in The Last Starfighter, very good film if you've never seen it, sci-fi adventure film. And, well, the big mistake he ever made with his career, being Toast to shitty Revenge. He's in this, so that's like him. I just wish there was a lot more with him in it. I sort of like that character. You've got an idea there's going to be a love scene between him and Laurie Strode, which sadly never got to be. And I'd love to see a love scene between them. No, maybe a kiss or maybe a bit of them talking to death off. But it is what it is. But there's a scene in it, right, where it's nearly at the end and he tips over and he falls over. Well, not, I say the middle before the ending. I think in the TV one, it was more near the end. But in the thingy one, there's a scene where he tips over and he falls on blood and bashes his head in. And then halfway through the film, he wakes up, he's going to try and get Laurie some help, and he passes out. And you don't know whether he's dead or a frigging live. You do not know whether he's dead or alive in the theatrical one. But in the televised one, he was alive. The bit where they take Laurie to the ambulance, she sees his blankets raising up, she's panicking, thinking, shit, is it Michael? And it's not, it's him. He's got a bandage on his head and she starts crying. He says, we've done it. And they're both old hands. End of movie. Always asked me wondering whether they did the 7th Friday the 13th, whether they copied that scene, because it's find it funny that they both do a scene where they're in the ambulance. They find the characters in Friday the 13th, Part 7, A New Blood. But sadly to say, we never got to see that. We got to see the theatrical one where you never knew whether he was dead or frigging live at the end. And I'd love to have seen them do that in the theatrical one where they released that and put that ending in. I'd have loved to have seen that for an ending. But nevertheless, it's still a good film. And I do love Halloween 2. So you got a bit where it's those bits from the original where it ended, where Michael got shot. Then it's also a little bit of an extra scene where he runs out and his neighbour's giving him shit. Dr. Humus. And I love the lines where he says, I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. And then Dr. Humus says that classic line, you don't even know what death is. Runs off, and you get that beautiful music again with the pumpkin, which I gotta admit, the pumpkin look better in this, and I do prefer the music. Same music again, we all know, but it was done on keyboard, and I just love the notes in it. There's bits where it gets nerfing, there's bits where it gets cheaper, there's bits where it's so freaking frightening, it even makes me flipping sweat with fear. It definitely hits the right notes. So the bit where the pumpkin opens up and it reveals a skeleton's face. I love it. And again, you got the same actor that played Dr. Humus. May you rest in peace. Donald Pleasence. May you rest in peace, my friend. Stu does a great line, like he said in the original one. He's got the devil's eyes, the evil eyes. He's evil, just pure evil. Again, he says some great lines in this, just like he did in the original. So you got some of the actors plays the role. The one that played the cop from the original plays his role, and the one that plays his daughter, even though she got a throat slit and murdered, she does sort of make a test appearance where they do make a poo-poo there. They've got a scene where they open up and you see a body, and you actually see her blink a little bit. You actually see her blink her eye a little bit when she's playing dead, and thinking, how the fuck can you be breathing and blinking your eye at the same time when you're brown bread? So there's a little bit of a cock up there in that scene, but that's fair enough. But the rest of it is really, really good. Well, I'm sad to say, over the years, John Carpenter didn't like this film. Never liked it, the second Halloween 2, because they altered a lot of things on it and what he wanted to do. They wanted it more graphic and more violent, because I think originally when he did it, he wanted to make it psychological like the original. Not as bloody, not as graphic, the death scenes, not as in your face. And movies at that time, like I said, there was a lot of slasher films. You know, you had My Bloody Father time. You had a load and loads of slasher films in 1981. I mean, you had Happy Birthday to Me, again, unestimated slasher film from the 80s. So there's a lot of slasher films in that day. So they were all in competition. So they wanted to make the violence a lot more doorier, a lot more fixers, more, you know, in your face. And there was a lot of other things. I think at the time, one of the producers must have seen Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. There's a funny scene. Remember when Darth Vader says to Luke, I am your father. Decided to do that with Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, with Michael Mathers being Laurie Strode's long lost brother. How the hell did that happen? I don't know. But yeah, it turns out to be Laurie Strode's long lost brother. And I think John Carpenter never liked that. That's why over the years they sort of did another sequel to this. And I've got to admit, I think it's a piece of shit. I think it's garbage. They make Johnny Stoden a victim and a wimp. And they did it again in H2O. And it's like, seriously, to me, this is a damn good sequel. It is a damn unestimated sequel. It did not need another one. To me, 1 and 2, so they left Halloween as 1 and 2. Granted, I do like the third one. I like the idea of going to a different story with the Halloween masks. And it was very ballsy. It was attacking kids. So it was a ballsy film. But then Halloween 4, I don't mind it. But then after that, the rest, garbage. It's only my opinion. I just thought it was shit. But nevertheless, this is not shit. I do like this one. I like the fact it's in an obstacle. Again, I like the traffic scene. I like to see where he gets this woman, very nerving scene. And this woman's been in a lot of programs and films. She's been in loads. She was in the original Magnum P.I. I think she played in an episode of Knight Rider. Could be right, it could be wrong there. She's been in loads and loads of TV shows. I think she was also in one of the episodes of Battleship Teraptor, 1980. She's been in loads of things. Very attractive woman in that era. Definitely wasn't shy in this film when she rips them out. But I do love to see where Michael walks up to her. She thinks it's a boyfriend. She's sucking his finger, talking kinky with him. Next thing you know, Michael gets her by the hair, dips her head in water, and I thought first he's going to drown her. Do you know, originally the TV one, you think he's drowning her, and it cuts off to the scene very fast. But on this version, he dips her face in, it's boiling water, burns her face, kills her. Always has me wondering whether they saw a movie I remember reviewing once called, I can remember the name of it. It had 2 titles. And Deep Red, that's it, Deep Red. If you remember a movie called Deep Red, people, there's a scene like that where a woman gets her face dipped in boiling water. If I wanted, this film had a similar death scene. So I do like the death scenes. It never doesn't ask about the blood and door. Yeah, the bit where we find out Michael Mathers is Laurie Strode's long lost speaking brother was a bit out of the blue. And yeah, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm talking about the character there. The wig was a bit laughable. She wore a wig because at the time she had her hair cut short. So they wanted to make it look like it was in the 70s still. But I do like the bit where they outsmart Michael Mathers. He gets Dr. Yumi self-sacrifices himself. The building blows up in the obstacle. And you do think he's dead until when the 4th one come out and, you know, money talks. They resurrect Michael Mathers and they resurrect Dr. Yumi. How? I do not know. But they do. Love the ending of this film. To me, Halloween 2, I have no faults with Halloween 2. No faults whatsoever. It's a dudden. But until then, have a dudden. I'll do some more movies, some more movie reviews. Until then, be smart, be safe, and when Halloween comes, have a happy Halloween.